And we are live, the Hall Preezy universe. I'm King HP, also known as Father, also known as Mr. Sippable. And we have Dora, not the Explorer. Um,
Hey.
we are coming to you live. So please make sure that you get out, share the broadcast, like the broadcast, hit the notification bell. Ta-da! We are here. From is officially over, but it's also just beginning. And also, what's just beginning is um this bottle of Sable. Sable is the bourbon from Harold Perrineau, also Morris Chestnut and Tay Diggs. They have partnered together to bring us this very very good bourbon. I had the honor and the privilege of going to meet those two gentlemen yesterday, Morris Chestnut and Harold Perrineau, aka Boyd. That's so that was probably about one of the most awesome experiences I've ever had. And I was able to get some bottles signed. And with that being said, here's a bottle. So whenever we talk from, I feel like it would only be right if if we if we did a had a glass of Sable. I mean, why not, right? It makes all the sense in the world. I didn't even open this, so I'm gonna open this. I didn't want to open it. I'm very um
Don't be
but
hesitant.
yeah,
Just open it. Do it.
I as the backup.
Okay.
When in doubt, just use your teeth.
Well, don't do that. You don't need a dental bill like that, friend.
It's gonna be crazy. Like he's struggling to get it open. Like I don't know how. Like I got the other one open in record time, and now it's like
You don't have to rush. You don't have to rush.
it's a lot of but it's a great bourbon, great whiskey, great for casual eating. If you're gonna have dinner, it's also great for parties. It's also great for business. Whatever you're liking, and then if you
On
can't
the
tell,
rocks with some ice.
yeah, it can be mixed well with several other products. There we go. There we go. Take all this plastic off. Awesome. And there we go. This is a signed bottle from Morris Chestnut and Harold and Boyd, right? Harold
Yeah.
Perrineau.
We shout out to them for telling me hello through FaceTime. I loved it. I love
Yes,
it.
they were very
Special.
pleasant. They were very pleasant people. Awesome to be around. Very appreciative, very supportive to everything we do, and very alert. So definitely check out, and if you're not familiar with Morris Chestnut, which
How can
how
you
could you
not
not
be?
be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's like Boys in the Hood, The Best Man, where it's him, Tay Diggs, Harold Perrineau. So you can catch them all together, right? The Best Man Holiday. They even have another series, The Best Man, the Final Chapters. So go check those things out. You heard it here first. Get you a bottle of Sable right now. You can just Google it, Sable Bourbon. You can order it. Hey, as the holidays set in, this is great for the family, great to be around as you do the Christmas dinners. It's definitely going to be something that has you being the talk of your friends as you I'm telling you, this is good. This is really good. I promise you, you'll be leaving comments saying, "Hell yeah, thanks for the referral. We're
Hmm.
going with Sable Bourbon." So, but as for us, friend, what are we going to do now that From is gone?
We're just gonna have to rewatch it, and then I don't know. Hopefully, we can get some interviews from the cast. That would be like on my list of things that we can get done.
Fingers
Hopefully.
crossed. Fingers crossed. I don't even know if we should speak on anything just to keep everything,
Yes.
hopefully
Yes.
tracking.
Until you know.
But if and when it happens, y'all will know.
Definitely, definitely. We will post something about it.
Right. So we're going to season 1, episode 1. Now this is so interesting because again, if you've watched the show, you've seen now over 3 seasons the evolution of the show and trying to figure out who's the initially after watching episode 1, I would like to know too, who did you feel was the main character? Who did you feel like the show was going to revolve around?
Hmm.
And, did that change over time? Did they add more people to being the main character? Like, how did they pull that off? I truly thought it was Jim. Thought it was Jim.
Same.
I thought the show was based on Jim and Jim's family. And
And the whole time it was Tabitha and her family, and we didn't even know.
Tabitha and her family.
Tabitha,
That's such an
I guess not even
interesting.
Tabitha and her family, Tabitha and her kids, because we all know, Jim's position now
So
at
if you
this
watch the show, it does start off with Boyd and company. You
point.
know, you get the mistake, the you get to understand the pressures of, do we call it Fromville?
Yeah, Frontville, definitely. It's not a village, it's a town, definitely. Not a
Okay.
Providence. Is that what they called it? Like in the old times, Providence, like Rhode Island and stuff like that.
I think so. I think those are townships.
Township. There we go. You knew the word. You knew it.
Yeah, it's townships. We start off with everybody's in the town. So the first shots we do get are of Boyd, are of Mr. Lou, which is Kenny's dad.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah,
R.I.P. That man. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Not
And
this
it's
episode
very
though.
interesting.
Yeah, not this episode. It's the next episode.
That what happens? Oh,
That Mr. Lou, yes. He
yeah,
meets his
that's
ultimate demise.
and you know what's interesting? I guess because of how they follow certain characters, they didn't bring him back to be like Tom the bar guy or
Yeah.
Father Kotru, you know. But it would have been important. I think it could have been done for Chin, as you see her trying to keep
I
that
think it
diner
still
open.
can.
And
Mhm. I think they
you
definitely
think they
still
still
can.
can?
If season four, yeah, if season four is doing any kind of time traveling with any of the three, like Muriel, Randall, um, Julie, like if any of them are going through time, I'm positive at some point they're gonna run back into that lady.
You know
And
what's
then
crazy? They
the
had an
ambulance.
ambulance, but they
Mm-hmm.
stripped it for the tower.
Also, Muriel must have. I mean, Muriel, right? That's her name. No, no, not Muriel.
No, not Muriel.
Christy must have come
Chrissy.
in. Christy must have come in on the ambulance. I think
Mm,
that would make most sense. But then I don't know because she was like a third. What is it? Was she a third-year student or something in medicine? Like she hadn't gotten like her doctorate yet. She was like doing.
well, she's got her shirt for the EMS.
Oh, then yeah,
So
then
it
it was
makes
definitely yeah.
yeah, it makes it yeah, that could have been her.
Do you think they could have been, because you know how close she is with Kenny? Do you think they could have been transporting Kenny's dad somewhere? And that's why both his parents were there at the same time. Because they haven't said Kenny's story just yet, right? Like, I can't even think right now if they've said Kenny's story, even how he got there. Just that he was
No.
there with his parents.
No, I don't think there's been any build up to Kenny's story. Um, but it's crazy because at this time, we were looking at guys like Kenny and Boyd. Boyd was a sheriff, but he was never a sheriff. He was in the military. He was in the army,
Yeah.
and they gave us I think he said 30 years. But here's that infamous days without incident, 96,
Hmm.
and that's like at that time that's over 3 months. That's a month and 3 months in a week.
So that, and
They
that,
didn't have it.
yeah, until that night, basically.
So do you
Which
think
so
they're?
does
What do you
that?
think
Do
they're?
you think the 96 days that was his wife was the last person? Like that was the last incident they had was whatever his wife had done? Because this is just now, like in the first episode, it's showing like the rift between Boyd and Ellis, but it's not explaining why Ellis is so like why he's in that house, like in the colony house, instead of living with Boyd in the station, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think. Man, I think it is the last incident. I think literally Boyd's wife going crazy because you see that sign. It's 96 days. That's
Mm-hmm.
3 months, 1 week. They had zero incident. Boyd has kept the town safe. The town is riding on Boyd. And what are some of the rules? They have church, I think, because that's
Mm-hmm.
where Father Kotchery comes in and play. They have Donna and the whole colony
Colony
house.
house.
And that's pretty crazy too, because they were always gonna have another incident coming soon. Because what we find out in a few episodes, we'll get to that when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a dude who's in love with one of the monsters.
Yeah, exactly. And she had just died. There had been another incident. Remember, they were the ones that had died. I don't know if they were just died, like the time frame, but they had died
Right.
recently also. The younger girl that has the flowers in that one episode. So,
Yeah, that's interesting. Now we do see the penalties of Fromville, right? Because we see Frank. And Frank, if we don't remember, Frank is remember Frank the Tank from old school, whatever. Frank
yes.
Frank is
Similar
not the tank
alcoholic
here.
problems too. Similar alcoholic problems.
Yeah, his wife is waiting for him. She's waiting. Daughter asks him for something. Your dad gets a little forgetful. That's what the mom tells him. Their rules there were you have to board your windows if you have children.
Because kids are
Is that a,
dumb.
is that a killable offense?
I don't know if I would say killable, but I mean, definitely he could have got a talisman in the box, I feel honestly.
But they want that. But that's a severe punishment
Mm,
on done on purpose so people wouldn't cross the line.
I guess it's one of those things like I don't really know. I don't know. I feel like he should have definitely boarded up the windows, but I don't know if he really should have been put in that box. But I guess they were trying to show us, the severity at that point of how these creatures are and what it's like, kind of thing.
So I agree with that statement. And so does Sable. Sable agrees with the statement too. Um, but they said if you have children. So do you think there are more children or there's still children in the town that the show hasn't shown us? Because as far as we know, currently it's only Ethan and Julie.
I think so.
And Jim didn't board no windows. Jim was writing on walls.
Jim, yeah, that was messy. I was like, that's very white of them.
Do you think that with Jim being like so they haven't come to the town yet. Let me make sure I skip this intro because I got the show playing back just to refresh any memories. Because we got Frank the Tank,
Mm-hmm.
um, and again at the end of the day, it's like he's a drunk and he got punished for being drunk. Do you think that's going to come up in season 4 as the town looks for maybe new leadership as they fall out of leadership? I don't want to call it leadership love, but as they look at Boyd as a leader, we've learned in season 3 Boyd is not still looked at in the same regard as he was in season 1, episode 1, where he's got 96 days to say, "Look, I've kept you safe."
Yeah.
Because even Acosta, the cop, says, "Well, what a great job of that you've done." Like she's almost like like shitting on him.
Yeah. No, she definitely was. I just didn't. You know how I feel about her.
I mean, yeah, but do you think? So with that being said, from being kicks off, right? We finally get to Jim and RV. We're about 10 minutes in episode. We get to Jim, we get to the RV, and now we get some interesting Ethan talk, right? Ethan is the Chromonacle. It's like a thing. It's like a book that he reads, and the Chromonacle is very similar to from. It has some very similar rules to follow. We've seen this type of habits with like Stranger Things, things like that.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. We could do you think the Chromonacle is hold on a second. I got you. I'm trying to put it in. I was like, I messed it
Ugh.
up.
No, I don't know. I guess there was so much that we should have listened to. But I still hate Ethan. Still just don't like the fella, the little fella as they say. He's not for me. I'm okay with that.
Don't I don't like Ethan either. I think he's very crucial in the sense of early on they say kill the boy. And we haven't even got to that part. But right now, it's this whole thing with these monsters that Ethan is playing with.
Hmm.
So you
What
wonder
part are you
is
on? Are they in the RV still?
in the RV. They say the answers in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They use the words, and I quote: "The secret fairies are on their way back to the boat."
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure I quote
That's
correctly.
why these have to be some sort of fairies, because Ethan calls them fairies. And I feel like he might, if he's, since he's Tabitha's son and Victor is Tabitha's son, they both have to have the same memories also, in a sense.
I'm gonna disagree.
So you
See, he was
think they
right there.
just have the memories of that, of where they are now?
I don't want to say everybody has this whole time loop thing going on. You don't think what up, Jay Petty? We see you in the chat. I don't think they have everyone does. When the time loop gets revealed in season 3, she says we've been here before. And
Mm-hmm.
her and Jim is looking and she says me and Jade. She doesn't say like anybody else. But I think the time loop exists because we see Julie do it, right? What if the time loop, the man in yellow? I mean, I don't want to say the man in yellow is Ethan, because then why wouldn't he say to Jim something like dad or something far fetched? You know what I'm saying? That would have threw us off. But there's a real Ethan knowing so much of what he knows. I mean, the secret fairies are on the way back to the Lake of Tears. We know there's a lake.
Mm-hmm.
The lake is where that fresh produce was growing, and
Yes.
they hung out a couple nights. And it's like
What if
Ethan's
he's
just
telling the
eating.
story? You know how there's someone outside the cabin and we know that now? Do you think, what was the name of the person? Norman? What was the monster? Did he give a name to the monsters or something like that?
In here
Yeah.
in the story.
When
The
they're doing the
Chromonaut was
fingers, when she was doing the fingers, like, didn't she say,
she
like,
did
oh, you
say
killed the liver type of thing?
I think she did say Norman.
Because what if he's actually
Norman,
telling the
yep.
story
Norman,
of
you're
the
gonna be
person?
okay.
Yeah, what if he's actually telling the story of the person that's going back to that area now that they've come back into Fromville? Because, we don't know who it is. They don't know who it is. Maybe he's saying that because that's even a part of the story. Like, oh, this person that's supposed to be here now is finding their way back to that area because they know we're coming now. Does that make sense?
That would be interesting. Very, very interesting. Um, yeah, I could see that. I could see that, and I think that would be man. So if she's telling a story in hindsight,
Mm-hmm.
but not in hindsight because it hasn't happened yet, but it's
Or yeah, or it could be happening while they're telling the story type of thing. You know what I mean? Like since no one in the town knows about this other area yet, whoever's living there, maybe that's a part of their story. Like, oh, he's just walking back over here and he got attacked, type of thing. Maybe it has nothing to do with Jim. It's just them telling another part of the story. Because Ethan's obviously the story keeper, I'm assuming. And we just don't know that just yet.
if Ethan, you think Ethan, it's so crazy because Ethan has to be such a big part in this, and
Mm-hmm.
I relate this in a bit to Stranger Things. There was a game they played in Stranger Things, and they were like, I can't remember what they called the monster and all this stuff, but like the game they played had the same rule set of the world they were in for the Upside Down. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I feel like that's a part taken here. The Chromonacle and the things that Ethan was talking about have a direct set of rules that if we listen to Ethan from episode 1, we'll find out what more of these rules are. The problem is Ethan's not giving that information to everybody. Everybody doesn't know, and so they don't, and they might not even take him serious. How would you know? Why
Like
would you
how
know?
they
You
don't
just go
take
to
Victor seriously in a sense.
right, right. So that man, I think that's gonna be interesting. But again, the bottle of Sable agrees. Very smooth. You've seen me drink it, not a single wince. Go ahead and get you a dinner tonight. Make sure you have a bottle of this. Make sure that you check the Sable Bourbon Company and check what the tour dates are. Morris Chestnut, Tay Diggs, I think is a part of it too. Harold Perrineau, obviously Boyd. They may be coming to a city near you.
And
I
you could
took
meet
that drive.
him. Yes, just like Jerry met him because I kind of forced him. But like we we did it.
Shout out to you, Feliciana. We thank you for the
Yes.
love. Go ahead and pick you up a bottle of Sable. We should do a Sable giveaway. An autographed one though.
Are
That
you
might be
willing to
something.
give one up though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm very stingy, y'all. I think I can though. I think I
I
can.
wish
I
I
bought
knew like their Texas dates because I don't drink, so I would totally be willing to give up my bottle if I'm being honest. Because you know what I mean. I don't drink
I
anyway, but
think I'll
I'd
do
still
that.
buy one and get it signed just to have it.
You know what? I'm gonna do that because I know I got my boy. I got my boy one. Um, so that's what I'll do. We'll do a giveaway, and we'll do it for the. It'll be like season 4 premiere. Will be the giveaway announcement. Who
Mhm.
wins? I do. Believe yo.
Do you think we should stream the week of Christmas? Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah,
let me
if we have to
see. Let
change
me
the
look
date,
at the dates. Okay,
as
so
long as
the
it doesn't fall
Chris
on a Sunday, or maybe we need
no,
to.
so it's showing that the 22nd, which is 3 or 4 days or 2 days before New Year's Eve.
Awesome, 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 awesome. So again, I'm gonna get back to this Ethan thing because he's in here. Norman, like you're saying, I don't know who Norman is. Ask Dora how you say my name, my man. Oh my God, I'm messing her name up. I'm messing his name up. I'm messing the name up. Feliciano?
Is this on my Instagram?
Nah, they off of YouTube. But how do you say Feliciano?
Is it Feliciano? Or how is Russell? Oh, it's off of YouTube. I see what you're saying now.
You got it.
Yeah, you just
Feliciano. Okay. Boom, boom, boom,
you
boom, boom.
gotta
I'm
yeah, you
good.
gotta add an accent, friend. Add an accent.
Feliciano. I like
Yes,
that. I
yes,
like
yes,
that. We got
yes,
it.
yes.
Okay. As long as we got it, we got the sable. The sable got me getting it right. And there we go.
You gotta be suave, friend. You gotta be like a sexy, Feliciano, like that.
Do you think I'm gonna
You
try to be suave? I'm gonna try.
gotta be
I,
suave.
you know who ain't suave? Jim.
Not at all. Not in the slightest.
And now his mama talking to him about the monsters killed Norman, consoling him. There's no such thing as you know what's crazy? In hindsight, looking back, like in reality, she's been doing this. She's been getting reincarnated. She just doesn't know it.
Hmm.
And she's telling her these things, monsters don't exist, blah 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 blah. But she know damn well they do. But she
You
doesn't
know
know
what?
it.
I'm still kind of convinced that maybe Ellis and Boyd and Miranda, right? That's her name. What was her name? Or Abby. Abby. I think they were like, I don't want to call them a failed attempt, but another reincarnation attempt because it seems like all the boys from her bloodline or whatever, Tabitha's bloodline. I know she did have a girl, but I feel like the boys are always the drawers. You know what I mean? Like they're always drawing. So maybe Ethan, Ellis was like a Ethan, a Victor, but since Abby killed herself, that's why they had to kind of have the backup of Tabitha and her family. Because I mean, it would make sense why Boyd's just being Boyd, but that might explain also why Boyd sees the reincarnation of other people too, or he doesn't see them, right?
No, no, no. He doesn't. He
Okay,
sees
then
Father
yeah,
Khatri, and he's seen Abby,
but
his
that might
wife.
be why he still gets to see people because he's kind of like Jim and like Henry, like they don't have, or like, yeah, like Jim and Henry, where they're not the reincarnated version of Jade. So they're just kind of in the limbo with them, with Ellis, with Abby, with Tabitha, with Ethan, and what's her name, and Julie. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't make sense to me that Ellis is also drawing stuff because it doesn't, not everyone is artistic in this town. And it seems the only males that are artistic are the ones that have been there before. Because if you look at his drawings, he's still kind of drawing the past lives, but it's not completely the past lives.
I don't know if so with Ellis's drawings, they seem to be more current because he drew the birds. Like if you and what we're talking about, people, is if you look at Ellis's pants as the seasons progress. Now remember, we
Mm-hmm.
are focused on episode one, season one. We're going to go episode by episode, but
Yeah.
because we got to get this from thing going. Right, keep it going. We got to keep this thing hot. We got to keep talking to y'all. Y'all got to keep talking to us. We got to do what we got to do.
Yeah.
But his clothes, he draws on them, and he draws like things that have happened and things like that. Like, or maybe he is foreshadowing, and we didn't notice it. That's an interesting.
That's why I'm thinking because you know how Ethan's drawing the current. He like that's what I'm saying. Like, what if Ethan was the current? I mean, Ellis was the current, and he just didn't know because Abby died. So that ends that whatever they were gonna be used for that gets destroyed type of thing. Oh, Frank.
Yo,
He slapped him so hard. That was like that's what I'm saying. Like I understand the whole family died, but at the same time, like the mama knows too. You know what I mean? Like the mama's already dead.
yo, Jesus Christ! He slapped this man into oblivion. He said, "You keep your motherfucking." When boy gets on his shit,
Mm-hmm.
it's over. He
It's
doesn't want to
over.
hear nothing. He doesn't want to negotiate the terms of nothing. Like, oh my gosh, I am always going to be a fan of Boyd cursing because he
He's
curses
my
with such.
favorite. Yes, when he says "motherfucker," it's one of those tops for me.
It's
Like,
definitely next level. Yo, Feliciano, Feliciano. I 100% agree. Um, oh, I gotta pull this up finally. Thank God it finally went through. Reload my chat. Why is my chat acting crazy? There it is. So I think when Boyd has so much anger right now, right? Because now what you're seeing is his disciplinary Boyd, where he wants to use the box. This is going to be the first steps in using the box, and this is going to set up a very crazy dynamic that's going to run throughout all the seasons of From. It's a low lying dynamic because it's the justice system. It's the justice. This is the first case we see. We don't know how they were handling things before. We don't know what they were on a buddy system before Boyd's arrival with Abby and Ellis. They were running night to night to different locations every day. So I don't know what their justice system. They probably didn't even have time
Mhm.
for justice. If you was out there stealing, you was just stealing. You might not make it to see tomorrow. Thief got caught. He
I'm
deserved it,
thinking
right?
also they didn't really, they had just recent, I think probably at the same time Abby died is when they found the talismans.
It was right before.
Right before Abby died?
Hold on, let me correct myself. I got to go back and watch the
I
episode
mean,
because
we'll go
again,
back. Yeah, like they'll show it
he
obviously, but
he
yeah,
he
but I'm
found the
trying to.
goats. He found the food supply and stuff before because he came out the woods. He was like, "Yo, there could be more stuff." I just don't remember in relation to the talisman
Mhm.
if that was before or after.
Because I'm just saying, because I know in the next episode, I mean, we could talk about this again, but in the next episode, that's why him and Christy are so like, they kind of just look at each other when they're in the RV because they're not too sure if the talisman is going to work or not. Because in that episode, also, when they make it through the night, Boyd's like, oh, well, that worked kind of thing, you know, like he sighed because he
Right.
wasn't too sure that was going to work. So they obviously
Ladies and
hadn't
gentlemen,
experimented at all with those things. They just found them and were
at
like,
all.
this is working, let's make this work type of thing.
I think he found the goat first. Feliciano, I think you're right. I think it was the goat. I definitely remember he found the goat. His wife was still alive because Ellis came to him and talked to him about that. Like, hey, mom is tripping. And Boyd
Yeah.
was like, all right. But speaking of Boyd, so we talked about going to hang out yesterday and these. We're gonna do that. And we'll do a giveaway for a signed, an autographed, actual autographed bottle of Sable.
Yeah, because if
Um,
anything, I can just, if we give one away whenever they get to Texas, I can buy one and I'll just send it and replace it to you, if that makes sense. We could just do
nah,
it
we'll
that
be
way.
good. You want to have yours to keep. Trust me,
But I can't
you're gonna
even
want to keep
drink
it.
it.
I, I am a hoarder. I know what I am. I know what I am. And it's unfortunate. I'm not a complete hoarder, but when it comes to certain things, I'm like, yo, I gotta have two or three.
Mm-hmm.
So here's how it started. This is down in Orlando. Shout out to Harold Perrineau. Shout out to Morris Chestnut.
Yeah, because he even
Great.
said, didn't you say he said, like, oh, you said you were driving up here. So he knew. He
Yes.
knew, yes.
I tweeted that he liked that tweet. I put the time that I was my ETA according to Google Maps. And then when I got there and bought the bottles, I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to get. He was like, you're the one that drove, and I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, okay, okay. And then I started talking about following me and stuff and blah 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 blah. Right. And you see three bottles there, but I had to go back because I did not FaceTime Dora. And I
Yes.
promised Dora I was going to FaceTime. So I went back, bought another bottle, got that bottle signed, and went in and made sure that uh I got to FaceTime with Dora for with them, and it was excellent, man. They allowed me to do it. They were like, "Yeah, come on, like
My
absolutely, this is your
only
friend."
regret was my ashy lips, and that was it. Other than that, it was fantastic. I didn't put the lip balm on first. I just
But
answered.
it be like that sometimes. You know what I mean? So how do you win a bottle? Okay, for one, you got to be subscribed to a Hall Prison Universe.
Mm-hmm.
Any from video, you have to like and leave a comment,
Yes.
and that's it. That's it. Is that gonna be it?
Yeah,
I think that's
I
gonna
think
be
and
it.
share it. Yeah, I mean, obviously share it too if you can. Whatever video
But
you
I
did
can't see
watch.
the shares. But if you share it,
But
and
you'll
I
see
can
it.
find
I
out
mean,
if you
you have
shared
to
it,
obviously tag us and share it on wherever social media you use it on.
yeah.
That would
But
be
we'll
the
do
best.
that, and the winner will definitely be announced when they announce season 4. Whenever episode 1, that'll be the winner. It'll be and it ain't gonna be one I touched. Trust me, it ain't gonna be one. You ain't
Yeah,
gonna get
well,
some
yeah,
open bottle.
exactly. And you have to be 21 or older, obviously, because we're not going to send
Yes,
a bottle to anybody's mom, our
yes.
dad.
So
We
we'll
definitely, yeah.
take care of all the shipping and stuff, but you're definitely gonna have to show me valid proof that you are over 21. If not, we'll get you a Hall Preezy mug. They're pretty dope.
Feliciano, you can still win. You just, give it to someone who drinks type of thing. Happy New
This
Year.
video counts as does the whole From playlist that we have. We'll
Hmm.
be doing tape videos too, so they get into the Hall Preezy like when you first log on to it, because
Hmm.
we always do our From videos live, and so it's like okay, we got to have some other content. But yeah, if you win, you win. Like, hey, it ain't gonna be me. I can comment all day. I'm not entered. Dora won't be entered. It'll be
Do
somebody
you
from the
think, because
from the.
I'm further along since you paused, so I'm at the part where Jade, the guy that Jade's with, pops out. Do you think that was like his partner in the company he sold, or do you think that's like his partner in life? Like, because you know how he always ends up back with um Tabitha. That's they're always gonna be intertwined. Do you think maybe he was like bisexual or something kind of thing, and maybe he was with this guy, and then do you mean, because I know he says he's his partner, so do you think it's like just a partner, or do you think it's like a partner type of situation?
So to answer your question, I do think I felt like he gave like he was gay and that was his partner. That's what I thought. I assumed that
Yeah.
early on. Just the way he kind of moved and maneuvered. I don't know whether he is or isn't. Maybe this incarnation is. Maybe, obviously at some point he was with Tabitha
Well,
and they
also
had a
because you
kid. So
remember, what is it? There was a girl from Colony House, and we'll get when we get to that episode, we'll see it. But like, there was a girl in Colony House that was trying to like flirt with like Jade because she thought he was like cute, and Jade never like was receptive. But that's what I'm saying. I don't
oh,
know. But that's why maybe he's not like attracted to Tabitha, but he's attracted to Tabitha without knowing. You know what I mean? Just because this is his past person.
I think there is. I think there's that natural, like you said, it's a natural attraction to him, to her, and we just don't know. It's funny watching this and rewind. Her and Jay got there at the same time. They collide. They literally collided with each other.
Mhm.
And
Do you think?
I'm reading Feliciano's comment. It's hella funny, but I just think I guess it doesn't matter because she's now married in this life. She doesn't have a love for him, but she'll always have a natural pull to him.
Well,
Like
because you
remember
know how
when they were?
Christopher came in and Christopher just had the dummy, but no kids. Like maybe whoever
We
he
don't know
is.
that. We don't know that. We can't confirm that. We just know that he had a dummy. We don't even know if that was his
I
dummy.
mean, most
We,
men with that don't exactly have the best love life. You know what I mean?
most men who drink Sable have great love lives.
Shut up. That's funny. But yeah, I
But
feel like I don't know, maybe because they're always intertwined. I don't know.
so they always come back to each other. So it's funny because Victor said in an episode the last time two cars came, he didn't say he was a part of the two cars, but I have to assume he was because his mom is Miranda. So when he says things like it was bad, maybe because he was involved in it and
Hmm.
he don't know Tabitha's is his ghost mom. Like
Yeah.
you got your mom, you got stepmoms, and you got ghost moms. Ghost moms mean I am your mother, but I'm in a new body and I ain't birth you, so you're not my son, but you're my ghost son because This is my second. Like, it is
Do
what it
you
is.
think since they now do they say like do you think maybe since there's always a girl, because I want to go back to my theory that Boyd and Abby were also like supposed to be like Tabitha and Jim situation where Boyd's just the guy that she's with. But I guess like
Feliciano's funny as hell.
but that's funny. But like, do you think maybe Abby is gonna end up being like maybe like a love child of Abby that she had when she was like in the Navy Army type of thing?
No, I think they'll play different roles to people that may have passed because Abby. We gotta always go back to Abby because Abby later says, and man, I can't remember the episode, but when they show what happened to Abby in her past, as far as how Boyd, how she died, she
Uh-huh.
said, "I had a dream when I was a little girl," and then she didn't go into it. So it makes it seem like her dream was connected to this place, which is why she was telling people, "You have to wake up. This is the only way to get you out of here." Now, fun fact: the little boy in season 3 pushes old girl Tabitha out the fucking window of a tower. She should have died.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't. It got her
Ooh, do
out
you
of
think
there.
Ellis and Fatima were always gonna be the one to have the baby? And maybe like Abby's dream was like she was a different village person and saw like whoever Ellis is was gonna be the one to rebirth Smiley again. So that's why she felt like she had to shoot him. Like this is the only way because like maybe that was her way of thinking she was ending that cycle.
I can't tell because we never got to hear any part of the dream. So if the dream was I've seen this place and there's people that keep getting rebirthed here. Like she could have said that and we'd have been like, what does she mean? Because is that Tabitha? Is
Mm-hmm.
that the monsters? Because we've both seen that it's a circle. They come back, right? So that would have been a very interesting thing, but they play with us. They're gonna have to give us more past flashbacks to Abby for us to get a real understanding of what she saw. And those flashbacks are going to come into the form of her and Boyd chilling, having conversations before they ever took that trip, and her waking up in the middle of the night, like, and him like, "What's wrong?" And she telling him about a dream, and then
Mm-hmm.
the dream makes sense to Boyd now in the current. You know what I mean? Because it's like, damn, my wife used to, but he can't ask her. So I hope we get those type of flashbacks to give more introspection to who Abby was supposed to be. I don't her and I don't think it could be a reincarnation of the Miranda type of character because Tabitha and Abby don't seem like that there's that far of an age gap.
Mm-hmm.
Like Victor was a boy when his mom got killed, meaning shortly thereafter, Spirit went into because he is you
But
can
that's what I'm
it
thinking.
feels
Like, what if they do like multiple women families, like as the backup? Because I mean, how many times do you think they've tried this, like before Victor? Because obviously they've been Civil War times, right? So, because there's those Civil War soldiers. So, how many times do you think they've tried this and they failed? So they had to bring a backup in kind of quick, or maybe that's something like the From Monsters figured out, like you know what I mean? Like we have to reincarnate multiple people in multiple like we can put them together and then just make them show up again. Like move the people those pieces back into the story almost type of thing. Into the cycle, is that what it is? Cycle?
it feels like there's cycles. It feels like the cycles. I mean, we're just going through episode 1. I don't want to get super far into it because we could go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now I didn't pause when you paused, but right now I'm on they're
I've been
got
pausing this
to
thing. I wish it was playing straight.
I put I'm at the part where they're just about to go into the RV.
Oh, okay. It's
They're
already
like
further.
Father Katra's talking to Jade and gave him water by the truck because you know how they handcuffed him to the truck.
Why they give Kenny them high waters? I'm looking at this and I'm like, Kenny, man, you ain't had to be in them.
Well, I mean, they weren't sheriffs, so obviously they just found these sheriff clothes in the station. You know what I mean?
Who's the sheriff that's a monster though?
I mean, there was that weird cowboy guy, monster. Like, how many sheriffs has there been? Like, these obviously were other people's clothes.
Excuse me, could you tell me where?
Like,
Everybody's ignoring
they were
Jim.
previous people's clothes, previous sheriffs or officers or whatever they technically were at the time.
You know, there's a name for what those crows did back there.
Talking about the crows. Now that I think is a part we need to look at too. Going back to when the tree fell for them. I'm at
I
that
don't
part
know.
now. It's
I
like
feel
15
like that
minutes
one
in.
was just like a reference to make Julie feel bad when they say that in the RV. Like, oh, it's an unkindness. That's what ravens are called. Like, she was just, making a comment toward Julie at the time. Because she was being slick, so she's like, let me tell my daughter what's what type of thing.
Got knocked down in a storm.
This is the most in-depth look at a tree we get. It's a pretty selective storm. They're all mad about this tree.
Well, there was an exit about a mile back.
My man tries to push the tree. I don't I don't think that okay. There is definitely you're not gonna be able to see this.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the 1607 mark, watch it from 1605, 1607. You'll be able to see at the beginning of that tree where the first branch is on that right side, there is a carving in that tree. Looks like it's a downward, like a V, right? You know what's very interesting about that? Boyd carved those trees when they were in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
And Victor talks about how the trees move. So is every tree that gets pushed out into people's way, like every time you mark a tree to find your way through the forest, it's one of the trees that get eliminated?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that a thing? Is that a potential possibility? Possibly, potentially, because I can see the marking in this tree, and they don't make a mention of it. Now I'm gonna fast forward all way past that.
Mm-hmm.
And Jade is just drunk. Jade is drunk and high in the back seat. But what's interesting is Jade has on the bracelet. It was right there in our face.
Oh, because that's why they lost the bracelet, because Jade had the bracelet, basically, right?
Yep. I'm trying to get as close as I can.
I do see the bracelet now, yes.
He gets out the car, and that looks like the very same shirt that when Ethan Elgin went down into the basement, the corpse was wearing. It's a striped white and white shirt,
Mm-hmm.
which makes me feel like time loops happen. And there were some unsuccessful loops, and the corpse is still there. But in the current loop, Jade did not die.
Mm-mm.
But in other loops, either Jade dies there or Jade dies somewhere down there, going down there. Like instead of Boy going down there to see who gets what's going on with, I can't think of her name.
Yeah, because Jim doesn't have the bracelet anymore at this point, right?
No, shortly thereafter he's gonna lose it.
Or he's already lost it, right? That's what, because I remember, I'm trying to like not go too far, but I remember she said, remember you lost the bracelet. We couldn't find it, but I found it here in the thing. Because remember they lost it and he doesn't even have it by the time they've gone back to
So we need
Fromville.
to see if Buddy loses his bracelet because
Who,
that's the
Jade?
bracelet. Jade, yeah.
Could he be wearing it this whole time and no one even noticed until that moment, kind of thing?
No, no one noticed because we didn't notice the level of interest in the bracelet only gets sparked as we find out because when she tells them when they're digging the hole in the basement and Jim is like, yo, that could have been somebody else's, blah blah blah. She's like, no, I made it. We didn't know. Then she gets out. She's with Victor. The song,
Mm.
absolutely. Please get this. You've been seeing me have sips of this the entire time. Tremendous. Oh man, this is an all-purpose drink. I can literally say that about this. I know I just randomly went off, but this is an all-purpose drink. Um, it's so good.
Are you gonna have a
And then I
steak
got my
after
water.
this, friend? Now,
What happened, ma'am?
are you gonna have a steak after this?
I got a pork chop, but I can make a steak.
I mean, I should be able to go with pork, right?
Let's just do a steak. Steak,
Let's
potatoes, and
just
asparagus.
do-
Man. So when did Julie have the short hair? Because here's
I-
episode 1.
She never had the short hair. That's why I'm thinking, what if she was going through the past and she had to cut it so that no one would recognize her, type of thing. Or unless in the future she cut her hair like a crazy person, you know.
Very possible.
Another time, because you know how she magically pops up in this time period or whatever at the end of the season or whatever, and the man in yellow slices his throat. What if in her original
Like
timeline
he ripped
they
that
just
thing out.
find Jim on the floor, type of thing? And that's why she's going back to the moment, because she wants to go back to try and stop that moment. I know people were saying that kind of thing, but maybe that is what it is. Oh, my computer's going to die.
That is what it is. Like his throat is ripped out. They're gonna have to come across that body. And they may even come across a different Julie, depending on who finds the body. Like if it's the mom, excuse
Because
me,
that
Julie
would
was in
make
the diner
sense.
with Ethan.
Yeah, like she had to cut her hair so no one would recognize her, type of thing. Because I can't imagine why they'd give her such a terrible wig, you know, and cut her hair like that. She
It's
went and got the
terrible, fam.
Muriel cut, which is upsetting, you know, or the Christy cut that Muriel gave her. Like, why did you cut her hair like that and give this actress such a terrible wig? You got two terrible wig ladies walking around here now? Like, no.
Well, we will see. But I definitely think that with Ethan, watch out for Ethan. Based on episode 1 now, this is where the killer first comes out. We didn't like her then. Do we give her a pass now?
Of
Y'all know what's
course.
about to happen.
I love Five Body Sarah. Of course, she's going to get a pass.
Man, when y'all talk about what's their body count, don't ask Sarah.
Don't
Don't
even
ask
talk to
Sarah.
her. It's not her fault. She's just a girl, okay?
Hey,
She's trying to
hey,
survive out
hey.
here. Y'all coming at my girl Sarah hard.
She's got, and we don't even know if Elgin's dead, but she got his eye hanging out.
He's gonna hope he's dead. I don't think anyone liked Elgin enough. You know what I mean? I just don't see this being any kind of backlash for her, if I'm being honest, in the next season.
That
Because
would
for
be
what?
crazy. Right here could have been a nice jewel dropped, and we'd have never caught it at the time. Season 1, episode 1. She has a concussion. They get her out, right? And she reverts back to Thomas. But what if she would have reverted back to something in a previous timeline?
That would have been a good drop. I think that would have been too obvious.
But no, we're like, what is she talking about? She's definitely like, if they'd have said, "Oh my gosh," but she's like, "Yo, don't we have a girl? They're gonna sacrifice her if we don't get out of here." And they were like, "What? Like, get out of here?" But it wasn't that the concussion took her back. You know what I mean? To a different timeline, a different reincarnation.
Or maybe the concussion wasn't hard enough like the second one was when she fell out, when she got pushed.
Mm.
Because that's when she really started revving up on the memory kind of thing, or feeling like she knew something that she didn't know, even.
I definitely think it would have been a dope thing to do. Um, and we'll never know now because it definitely already happened. But Sarah's out here getting her body count up. Yo, I mean, she. This is their first one. This is the one that we don't know that the voices are. We just think Sarah is so evil.
Yeah, we just don't even know that she literally was going to have to do that no matter what at the end of the day.
She was being tortured. And Ethan just stuck down there with a thing in his leg. Boyd out here just looking at the talisman, hoping it'll work. Now, question: who made the talisman? Is
Do you
it
think that
stuck in
was
a
also
time?
Tabitha?
No, I think it's Julie.
You think? Oh,
I
so you
think
think
Julie goes
Julie's making the talismans?
because they were all in one place. Like somebody was trying to hide. And I think the talisman come from where the lake is. They drew what they saw on a rock and prayed, and it worked. That's what I think that because they're gonna have to answer where did the talisman come from? Where did those stone creatures come from that keep
Yeah,
people safe who hide in those woods?
I don't know. I feel like it had to be Tabitha maybe made them type of thing solely because it's the same kind of stuff she used to make Jim's little bracelet and the bracelet that they keep talking about type of thing. I feel like it had to be Tabitha or maybe it could be Julie, but Julie still doesn't know about the bracelet either, even in this. You know what I mean? Because it seems to be the same leather and stone that she made Jim's and the bracelet Jade has, out of to give to everybody type of thing.
It'd be very interesting. Um, oh, man, episode 1 is about to come to an end, y'all. They go in here. The RV is flipped. Jim is Jim is basically trying to get them inside. Like he done looked at the talisman, he done held it. He's like, because he doesn't know if this is gonna work, but he's hoping. He's definitely hoping. Now, going back to this bottle of Sable, if you want to win a autograph by Morris Chestnut, Harold Perrineau bottle of Sable, you will have to subscribe to the Hall Prison Universe, like the videos, and leave a comment. Now, once you've done those 3 things, you're in there pretty much. I mean, yeah, you're in there pretty much. So,
Oh, that I like that idea too. What if Tabitha has been the one making the talisman and she had actually made them for like Jim and Jade, or you know what I mean, her husband in the to protect them in the past, and that's why they have the bracelet. Like it could be a stone of the stone that they used, kind of thing.
yeah, it could be, and that would make a lot of sense too.
Because
It
that would make
definitely
sense
would.
why Jade is so protected. You know what I mean? Because even he never seems to go out even long enough to like know that the monsters are gonna hurt somebody. And that may be a little bit why Jim's protected, but that's what's weird to me too, is he's not wearing that thing anymore.
You know, it's funny. In episode 1, you have the people who try to get back to Colony House. That's Kenny, Tabitha, Julie, Jade. So your episode 1 was packed with a lot of stuff. But what
Mm-hmm.
one thing we got to do, we're gonna try to still keep within the episodes and theory craft based off what we've seen and what we're seeing, right?
Yes.
So let us know what you think in the chat. But remember, if you want an autograph bottle of Sable, the winner will be announced on the debut of season 4, episode 1. Boom. subscribe to the Hall Prison Universe, leave a
Mhm.
comment, and like the video. Every time you like a video and leave a comment on that video, that's two things you got to do for the one. That's
Mhm.
one opportunity. So as many videos as we post from the From playlist, it'll be how many opportunities you get. So
Yeah, and we'll do this. Do you want to do this till the week of Christmas, and then we make the decision the week of Christmas, and then send it out maybe the week after? That'll
for
be
who?
like
For
2 weeks, right? 2, 3 weeks. Let me see.
oh no, I'm gonna let it build all the way up to from 2026.
Oh, you want to keep going that far? You don't. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe the new year, the end of season one. Do we want to do the end of season one? Then we can send it.
Hmm. Let's just discuss that. But right now, because
Yes.
you know what, that's an interesting point too, because there's gonna be so
Yes.
many episodes back to back to back to back. It
Mm-hmm.
might it might it might work like that, or we'll figure something out. But one thing is for sure: subscribe to the All Prison Universe, like the videos from, comment on the videos from, and that will automatically enter you. And as we come back live and as we do more breakdowns and stuff, we will definitely put you on what is the final verdict of how to get this bottle. We want you guys to have it. Um, so we're gonna get out. We're just gonna have to figure out is it gonna be
Mm-hmm.
based on the season one or season four? It's
We'll
gonna be interesting.
see.
We will see. We will see. But definitely, I'm King HP, also known as Father, also known as Mr. Sippable, and that is Dora, not the Explorer. And we're back next week. Are we going back to 9 o'clock?
Yeah, let's do 9 just because I have to do like I said, I have to do the fundraiser thing, but it'll be from 4 to 8. So maybe, do you want to try early again? We'll
Yeah, we
figure
might
it
have
out.
to
Yeah,
start
we'll
early again.
figure it out. Definitely. Yeah, but
So
definitely
definitely subscribe.
Sunday next week. I just, I'm doing volunteer work next week, so, but
Awesome,
I'm
awesome,
still going to
awesome.
be here.
That is awesome. Subscribe, follow, like, and we'll keep you posted on all social media platforms. But until next
Hmm.
time, peace.